Okay, so I'm Lizzie. This is my brother, David.
Her big brother.
Big brother, the oldest brother. We're 16 years apart. Isn't that crazy?
Drove my mom to the hospital when she was born.
That's true.
But what are we here to do, Lizzie?
David, you're only good at one thing, as you always say, and it's true.
There's
No, I'm
only
just
one
kidding.
thing in this life that I was born to do, and that was to make the Bavarian pretzel.
No, he really is so good at it, so take it away, David.
If you perfect this recipe, there are two things that are gonna happen. Number one, you'll never be alone. You'll never be alone if you perfect this recipe. Number two, people will love you till the day you die. So let's get started, Lizzie. You're my sous chef today.
Oh, wow.
When you start with the pretzel, you start with 1 3/4 cups of warm water. And I'm talking about warm water that you can get right out of your tap. We're gonna put that in there, and then we put 4 teaspoons of yeast inside that warm water. So we put the 4 teaspoons yeast into the 1 3/4 cup warm water. We stir it up, and then I usually like to cover it. This is something that we just do in the
I can't
Edmonds.
believe you just used a fork, but...
This is what we do in the Edmonds household.
No,
okay?
we don't use a fork.
This is what we
but
do.
that's fine.
Let me tell you something. This is the peanut gallery over here. There aren't very many ingredients to the pretzels at all. So the next most important thing that we're gonna put in there is the kamut, okay? And this is 5 cups of kamut. This is heavy on flour. In the Middle Ages, all it was flour, water, and salt. That's it, okay? And here we start with our kamut. Look at that good yellow kamut. Boy, I'll tell you what, that's when you know you got the good stuff right there.
It's true.
You been counting those for me, sous chef?
No, I
You
haven't
forgot.
actually.
That's 4.
I forgot.
You're luckily I didn't forget, okay? 5 cups are in. Now we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of sugar. Now in the old days, they wouldn't have done that, but you know what? This takes it next level. In addition to those 2 things, the 5 cups of kamut, the 1/2 cup of sugar, now we go to the French salt. And I'm just gonna eyeball it for you, but you know what it is? It's about 1.5 teaspoons of the French salt. I'm just gonna put it in there, okay? At this point, we like to mix it up a little bit, all right?
Here.
Mix it up for me, sous chef.
Okay.
We got that mixed up. The dry ingredients are in. That's it. For the dry ingredients, that's it. We've got our yeast over here. It's ready to go in.
Show him how it's getting a little bubbly
You see
and
how,
active.
you see how that gets bubbly?
That happened really quick. If you got a good yeast,
If
you
you
know,
get
water temp.
got a good yeast, that's what, and I always put a little sugar in there. That's probably not necessary, but that's just habit, okay?
It's good, makes it happy.
We got in there now. We've got the yeast and the water in. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, okay? And next we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of honey. Now, you will not find honey most of the time in Bavarian pretzels. But what we have learned is this honey, it takes it next level, folks. It just does. We've learned that. And that's something that, you know, the original Food Nanny and I came up with when I was messing with this pretzel. So, we're gonna eyeball this. Lizzie, let's get it going.
Okay.
We'll probably need a little more water, and that's okay. You're gonna watch this. You're gonna be slowly eyeball it. We're gonna dump bits amount of that water back in there. And what I like to do with this is I will put it in the KitchenAid or whatever, a Bosch or whatever mixer you're using. Let it go for about 4 minutes. It's very important that you mix this stuff together really well, but the next 4 minutes after this, I'm gonna hand knead it. Because all the good ones get the hand in the dough. All of the true artisans get their hands in the dough because that's love.
Amen to that.
So that's looking pretty good, Lizzie. This pretzel dough is gonna be a little stiffer than the dough you
And
normally.
I think that's really important to say, David, because I even sometimes go a little bit too soft. I'm serious.
This-
it needs to be more stiff.
This pretzel dough is gonna be a little stiffer, okay? And that's normal. But you know what? If you work this dough, you're gonna get really strong arms.
Well, that's why he's got the biggest arms
You're
alive.
gonna-
I swear I've never seen bigger
No,
arms in
that's
my
not
whole
true.
life.
You're gonna
Well,
it's
true.
just a lot of meat and potatoes. But you know, I'll tell you this: you get this stuff out here and you work it. You got to work the dough. And look how I'm doing this. See how I'm rolling it over and coming back, rolling it over, coming back. We put in dry ingredients. We put in a few wet ingredients. We mix it up for 4 minutes. Now we're kneading this dough for 4 minutes.
Why do you think most people are so intimidated to make a pretzel?
I don't understand
We get that all the time.
Everyone says I'm so intimidated by the
Yeah,
pretzel.
and I'm like, why?
But tell me so far what has been hard about this. Not a thing. Any person can do this. A child could do this. Heaven's sakes, I am a child, and I'm doing this, even though I am a grandpa. And you know, Nevertheless, I'm still a child at heart. We're gonna get it to this point, and then we kind of round it around like this. This is looking like most dough that you do, Lizzie, right? Spend a little bit of olive oil in here to make sure that it's not getting too sticky as it rises. Okay, kind of coat that pan a little bit. Nice, that's good. Just kind of coat that like this. We're gonna stick that in there.
And now covered.
And we're gonna let this go for an hour. You're gonna wanna get your oven set to 450 on convection if you have a convection oven. If you don't, that's okay. You can still bake them at 450 and they're very, very good, but convection is better. Put it on 450, go put this somewhere where it's warm, okay?
That's a hot tip right
That's
there.
a hot tip.
Oh gosh, okay.
Put that one in your back pocket.
Wow, put that one in your back pocket.
Now we've got some previously made dough that my sous chef is gonna bring over here. The sous chef is very important. What was that Disney movie, Ratatouille?
Yeah.
The sous is very important.
Oh
Very
my.
important.
Normally when I'm always filming him, you guys can hear me laughing in the background because I cannot stop. Like that's pure entertainment for me.
She's the sous chef.
Sous chef.
Today.
Okay.
Okay, we're getting that out. And that's looking pretty good. This stuff raised a little bit longer than we would normally let it go.
I told you it's gonna, don't get it all, man.
Well, yeah, get it all in there. Okay, she's gonna scrape that for me. We are going to get it and we are going to flatten this out into a rectangle, not a square, a rectangle, but kind of a more of a, not a true rectangle here. We just kind of get it straightened out.
And you're trying not to put any flour down.
Try not to put any flour down. There's sometimes there's no need to do that. We're gonna get it looking like this. Lizzie, I am not precise in my measurements. What does this look like?
That's for sure.
How big? How thick is this?
I don't know, it's about a half an inch.
I'm gonna cut this in half and I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing this. Because I'm going to be showing you the stuffed pretzel as well. That's a special treat. You're gonna get the stuffed pretzel today. But
That is a treat.
what this much dough will typically make is about 10 pretty good sized pretzels, okay? I'm gonna put this aside, Lizzie, my sous chef.
Okay.
Put that
Okay,
aside for me.
Okay.
And we are going to, for the remainder, I'm gonna cut this in half, okay? And I am going to go just like so. We're gonna get them about that thick. What would you say that is?
It's like a half inch.
Yeah, okay. I like to take them like this and I like to roll them up because we are gonna roll these out. So that's just the first process. Roll them up like that, you see that? Get it like that. It's looking pretty good, isn't it?
Oh, that looks so good.
That's professional.
No, really, you really are really good at this. Like, this isn't even a joke. Some things I don't know what he comes up with, but this, okay, yeah.
We've got this amazing dough scraper, which is one of my most favorite things that the Food Nanny sells. We're about to start selling a lot more of these. We're gonna take this dough, like I showed you, and we're gonna start rolling this out.
Wait, we gotta get your bath going.
Yes, Lizzie, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
You almost forgot about the bath.
Yes, what I need with that, the bath is 4 cups of hot water. As hot as your sink will get it. 4 cups. Then we're gonna go a half cup of baking soda. The reason why we put it in the bath is because if you don't dunk these into a base solution like baking soda, these things are just bread. You want it to be dark and brown on the outside and soft on the inside. That's what this bath does. Makes them chewy, makes them perfect. Now when the monks...
Well, you say without the bath, it's not a pretzel.
Well, without the bath, it's not a pretzel. Now I take these, it's about 22 inches or so, and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go left over right. And then you see how I'm gonna do this? But I do the signature double twist. You see how I did that? Now, the other thing I'm gonna tell you about real Bavarian pretzels, they always let them spill over the sides like this. You see this? You see a real one. And I talked earlier about this being a religious food. The Catholics will tell you that it's the Holy Trinity. It represents that, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, the 3 holes in the pretzel. They were given to children when they said their prayers and they were called little rewards.
It's half a cup, right?
Half a cup.
That's so much. Okay.
Now, when you get that in the hot water, you want to make sure that you get it completely dissolved. Don't let that sit at the bottom of the pan. That's that big mistake. Get it completely dissolved. Now, Lizzie, we need a cookie sheet greased up.
I'm doing it. I'm already on it.
Okay, she's on it.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's good. You can see that I've got the pretzel rolled up and I've got the signature double twist. This is mine. The signature double twist.
will say it's his.
If you see a double twisted pretzel,
They copied him.
More than likely they copied me. Okay. Now we go here. We want to make sure that the water is dripped off that as much as you possibly can. And then we're gonna put it right on there, Lizzie. Oh, look how that. Okay, now Lizzie, what's the next step?
Gotta add the salt.
Get that French salt
Right
on
here,
there.
David.
Don't play around. Okay? And don't forget
You
it.
cannot. Don't say that it's too chunky for this. No.
Don't say any of that.
Don't say.
I'm gonna tell you something. The marriage of the Kamut with the French salt takes this Bavarian pretzel to the next level.
It's true.
If that's not beautiful, if that's not beautiful, I don't know what is. I don't. And if that doesn't get your mouth watering, nothing will.
Oh my God.
Nothing will, man. Look at that.
Oh,
That is a
that's
thing.
perfection.
Sometimes when they get them on the pan, I try to make sure that the holes here are perfect. Kind of, manipulate them. Okay, it's very important that we have a surface that we can actually stuff something in. Let's make sure it's not sticking. That's important. Okay, Lizzie, make sure it's not sticking for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's get a little bit. So let's be careful.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
This is looking really good.
Yeah, this is nice.
This is about what you want to see. You want a stuffed pretzel. Okay. Now you can stuff it with just about anything you want. One of my favorites is sausage with cream cheese. Just regular sausage with cream cheese. We're gonna do pepperoni and Parmesan.
You do
today.
that in a saucepan. You brown up the meat with the cream cheese. That's it. Oh my, that's one of my favorites too.
Okay.
Okay.
We got some pepperoni here.
And then I got your cheese.
Okay. We're gonna lay some pepperonis down here. Okay.
The stuffed.
It's a little bit like, have you ever had an Italian stromboli? It's similar to that.
But I don't think anybody's doing a stuffed pretzel, are they?
Well, very few. It's dangerous. Some say. Because you know why? This is not a snack anymore. This is a meal. It's not a snack anymore. This is a meal. And not everybody's comfortable making a meal with the pretzel. A lot of people want to relegate it to the snack, tray. But some people, but those that are brave, the brave souls out there that will make a pretzel a meal will be rewarded with this.
That's looking so good.
We're gonna start rolling this baby up, okay? And let me tell you something. I told you before it's a meal. But look how we're doing this, okay? We just wanna get it together and we wanna pinch it. Ultimately, what we're trying to get is a big, long line like it was before we flattened it out, okay? That's all. We pinch it together, not unlike a pie dough or on stromboli dough. I mean, there's so many different things that this reminds me of. Okay, Lizzie, what's your favorite metaphor? I don't know. There's many ways to do this, but the problem is it's sticking like crazy today.
Why?
I don't know. Do you know why?
It's because the dough sat longer.
Yeah, the dough sat too long, I think.
You could have added a little more flour, but it's okay.
Roll this up.
Okay, here.
Okay.
David, we're just gonna make this into two. I'm making
That's fine.
the final call.
And you can do that. Okay? Just make sure that the dough is pushed together like this. But I'm gonna do this the same way I would do a normal pretzel. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna roll it over, I'm gonna do the twist. Okay? See how I did that? Perfect. And yes, you're gonna have a little bit of pepperoni sticking out. That's okay.
That's just what makes it good.
Into the water. I need a well, I can put it on
Just
this.
add it. Let's add it.
See that? Because there's salted meats in there. You don't need to put as much salt on that because you've already got a
It's
significant
true.
amount of salt in there.
Here, do this one.
Give me a little bit of salt on that.
Oh, okay.
Just a little
Just
bit.
a little bit.
A little bit. Back it off.
Okay. Just
Back it off.
a little bit.
Because we got those cured meats, those salted
Okay.
cured meats.
It's ready for the oven, David.
Into the oven at
Okay,
450. Is it on 450?
It's gonna be.
450. Okay, these babies had been in there for 8 minutes at 450. This is what they're supposed to look like. ladies and gentlemen. For presentation purposes, I've got these on this really nice board, okay? And that's beautiful, it's nice. You've seen the step-by-step process. What I hope more than anything is that you take away from this is that you have now a desire to come be part of the pretzel family. Do it for your family, because I'll tell you what, they'll love you to the day you die.
And that's a wrap. Woo! Okay.